Hello friends, welcome back. This is Himanshu Verma. In the previous lecture, we have learned about all parameters which are used in rectangular waveguide. In this lecture, we discuss what is the lowest possible mode for TE and TM respectively. To know that, we have to come on field expressions again. If we talk about TE mode, then in case of TE, HZ, EX, EY, HX, HY are existing. First of all, we wrote expression for HZ and then we wrote expression for EX, EY, HX and HY. We wrote expressions for EX, EY, HX, HY only by using basic understanding of boundary condition. We did not go into deep derivation part. If we go in deep derivation part, then we found that these expressions EX, EY, HX, HY are derived by having derivation of HZ with respect to either X or Y. The same is true for TM mode also. In case of TM, instead of HZ, EZ is present and other components like EX, EY, HX, HY are found by derivative of EZ with respect to X or Y. Now question arises, when we have already written all these field expressions, then now why I am telling this thing? The answer for this is, here we have used Hx and Hy. As we know, Hx is equal to m pi upon a and Hy is equal to n pi upon b. And when we derivative this function with respect to either x or y, then this constant part will come in multiplication of C1. And that constant part is either m pi upon a or n pi upon b. If we are derivating with respect to x, then it is m pi upon a, and if we are derivating with respect to y, then it is n pi upon b. In this multiplication part, pi upon a or pi upon b is constant, but m and n can have any value. So their multiplication with C1 plays an important role. We have to know for which field expression n is multiplying or which field expression m is multiplying. If we talk about TE, then Hz has both cosine function. If we calculate Ex, then for x it is cosine and for y it is sine. It means to receive Ex from Hz, we have partially derivative Hz with respect to y, because cosine derivation is sine. But during this derivation, the constant multiplier of y, that is n pi upon b, will come into multiplication. Pi upon b is constant, so we need not to write it, and we write only n in multiplication of C2. If we talk about Ey, then it has sign in x direction. So Hz must be partially derivative with respect to x, and that's why m will come in multiplication. For Hx, it is sine for x, that's why m will come in multiplication. For Hy, it is sine for y, and that's why n will come in multiplication. So we have to take care which field expression has multiplication with n or which field expression has multiplication with m. Similarly, we can derive it from Tm also. In Tm, Ez have both sine function, that is in x direction as well as in y direction. If we talk about Ex, then for x it is cos. It means Ez has been derivated with respect to x, and that's why m will come in multiplication. For Ey, it has cos function for y. So here, to get Ey, Ez has been derivated with respect to y, and that's why n will come in multiplication. For Hx, it is cos for y, so n will come in multiplication. For Hy, it is cos for x, so m will come in multiplication. So in this way, we have known which field expression have multiplication by m or n. After knowing this, now we can find what is the lowest possible mode for TE or TM. If we talk about TM, then TM00 may be lowest possible mode. TM00 means m is equal to 0 and n is equal to 0. And 0 value of m shows there is no field variation in x direction between the plates. And 0 value of n shows there is no field variation in y direction between the planes. If we check which fields exist for m and n is equal to 0, then because Ez have both sine function, so both m and n is equal to 0 makes Ez 0. If we observe Ex, Ey, Hx, Hy, then all of these field expressions have at least one sine function. So both m and n 0 makes these field expression 0. So we can say that TM00 mode can never exist. Now next lowest possible mode can be if either one of m and n is equal to 0. First we take the case Tm m0. It means m is a non-zero quantity and n is 0. If we observe for this, then Ez would be 0. Now if we observe Ex, then it is sine in y and cos in x. Because n is 0, that's why Ex will also be 0. If we observe Ey, then m is non-zero, that's why this sine function will be non-zero. And because n is 0 but correspond to y, it is cosine function, that's why it will also be non-zero. So sine and cos multiplication will give a non-zero value. But there is a multiplication of n also, and because n is 0, that's why Ey will also become 0. If we talk about Hx, it also has multiplication by n, that's why Hx will also become 0. If we talk about Hy, then it has multiplication of m, which is a non-zero in our case, but it has sine in y direction, and because n is 0, that's why this sine function becomes 0. So Hy is 0. So we see that for Tm m0, all the fields vanishes, and that's why Tm m0 mode can never exist in rectangular waveguide. Now we take another lowest possible mode, that can be Tm0n. Here m is 0 and n is non-zero. Because n is 0, that's why Ez becomes 0 due to this sine function in y. Because m is 0, that's why Ex becomes 0. If we observe Ey, then it has sine function for x, and m is 0, that's why Ey becomes 0. If we observe Hx, it is sine for x, and m is 0, that's why it becomes 0. If we observe Hy, it has multiplication with m, and m is 0, that's why Hy becomes 0. So for Tm0n also, all fields vanishes, and that's why Tm0n mode also not exist in rectangular waveguide. Finally, we can conclude that for rectangular waveguide, Tm00, Tm0 or Tm0n do not exist. Now if we talk about Te, then first we check for Te00, because Hz have both cosine function, that's why m is equal to n is equal to 0, do not make Hz 0. So Hz exists for m is equal to n is equal to 0. But if we talk about Ex, Ey, Hx, Hy, then all of these expressions have at least one sine function, and because both m and n are 0, that's why surely Ex, Ey, Hx, Hy will be 0. So in Te00 only Hz exists, means only magnetic field component exists. But for the propagation of electromagnetic wave, both electric and magnetic field exist. That's why we can say that Te00 mode cannot exist in rectangular waveguide. If we talk about Tem0, then we observe in Tem0 n value is 0. That's why if there is sine function correspond to y, then that becomes 0. Sine function correspond to y is present in Ex and in Hy. So Ex and Hy will vanish. Now we check Ey and Hx. In Ey and Hx, sine function is correspond to x direction, means correspond to m, and m is a non-zero quantity, that's why these Ey and Hx will not become 0 due to this sine function. And because Ey is multiplied with m and Hx is multiplied with m, and m is non-zero in our case, that's why Ey and Hx will exist for Tem0. And because Hz have both cosine function, that's why it also exists. So we can say that for Tem0, Hz, Ey and Hx, these three field components exist. Because in these field components, both electric and magnetic fields are available, that's why we can say that Tem0 mode is possible in rectangular waveguide. Now we check Te0n mode. 0n means m is equal to 0 and m is correspond to x, that's why all those expressions which have sine function of x, those expressions will vanish. Ey and Hx have sine function correspond to x, so these two expressions will not exist for m is equal to 0. But for Ex and Hy, sine function is correspond to y, that is correspond to n, and n is non-zero, and because these expressions are multiplied by n and n is non-zero, that's why Ex and Hy can exist for m is equal to 0 and n is equal to non-zero. So for Te0n, Hz, Ex and Hy field exist. Again for Te0n, both magnetic and electric fields are present. So Te0n mode is also possible in rectangular waveguide. So in case of TE, the lowest possible modes are TE10 and TE01. But for TM, the lowest possible mode was TM11. So now for both TE and TM, we have three lowest possible mode. For TE, those are TE10 and TE01, and for TM, that is TM11. Now we want to know what is the cutoff frequency for rectangular waveguide. Cutoff frequency is lowest possible frequency that can propagate through rectangular waveguide. So for this, we will calculate cutoff frequency for TE10, for TE01 and for TM11. And out of these three, the lowest cutoff frequency would be cutoff frequency for rectangular waveguide. As we know, expression for cutoff frequency Fc is equal to C by 2 into m upon a whole of square plus n upon b whole of square under the root. If we check for TE10, then because n is equal to 0, so it becomes C by 2 into m upon a. And because m is equal to 1, so it becomes C upon 2a. Similarly for TE01, it becomes C upon 2b. And for TM11, it becomes C by 2 into 1 upon a whole of square plus 1 upon b whole of square under the root. If we compare all of these three expressions, then this expression, that is cutoff frequency correspond to TM11, is obviously greater than both of these expressions. Now question arises, what is less in between these two? Now generally for a rectangular waveguide, A is always greater than B, and that's why, because A and B are in numerator and A is greater than B, that's why C upon 2A will be less than C upon 2B. So C upon 2A is the cutoff frequency for rectangular waveguide, which is correspond to TE10. In other words, we can say that TE10 is the lowest possible mode which can propagate in rectangular waveguide, and correspond to TE10, cutoff frequency is C upon 2A. Similarly, we can calculate cutoff wavelength also, because lambda C is equal to 2 upon m upon a whole of square plus n upon b whole of square under the root, and that's why correspond to TE10, lambda C would be equal to 2a. Because TE10 is the lowest possible mode in rectangular waveguide, that's why it is also known as dominant mode, and cutoff frequency correspond to dominant mode is equal to C upon 2a, and cutoff wavelength correspond to dominant mode is equal to 2a. So this was all about rectangular waveguide. In the next lecture, we will draw some field distribution for rectangular waveguide for different modes. Please like and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.